Hey, how are you? It's good to see you. I have been outside working. My kids and I have worked on the trench. We've been working on the trench that was dug through my yard when they redid the pipe for the water coming into the house. They basically left us with a big ass mess that we have put a lot of work into fixing back. Now I'm going to show you what I've been working on this evening, and it's not going to look like anything. You're going to look at it and go, that just looks like shit. Why are you showing me that? It took a while to get to this point. And then I'm going to tell you about the other stuff going on. Hold on a second. Let me show you. All right, so here we are. This is where the trench was dug. So they ended up with all this dirt. And here's what pisses me off. Right here in this turn where they had to hand dig it, they slung dirt all the way over there. They broke one of my lights and covered it up in dirt like I wouldn't find it. They crushed it. All they had to do, look at this. All you have to do to move these is this right here. It's not plugged into anything. And look, they broke it. I had 3 of these. They broke one, and then they just sort of covered it up with a bunch of damn dirt. So then, I can't get that to stay. So then when I was over here, that's lopsided. So I was out here digging around, and I found it. They had just crushed it. I have a landscaping company coming out to give me an estimate to fix this back because I'm not doing it. They slung dirt all up in here. There was no need for them to do it. This is better than what they left me. Okay, my kids and I did this. They completely covered up those, so they put some of them over here. They were not stacked up. We did that. They put some over here and just completely covered them in dirt. We have spent hours and hours out here dealing with this. And yeah, it doesn't look like anything, I know. But I've been out here with a flat shovel, getting it off the driveway, scooping it up and removing it. I didn't finish, but maybe I can finish later. I've got to get all these big clods of dirt out of here. The grass people came and put down some grass seed, but I don't know how it's going to do over here. This part isn't as bad. See, that's already kind of filling in a little bit. This is not great. I don't know what to do about it, but this is what I've been working on for the last 2 weekends, trying to flatten it out, get the chunks of dirt out of here. They slung it over here. I swear, it has been the biggest pain in the ass. Oh my God. Okay, so we got a little situation going on here in the neighborhood, and I'm going to go inside and tell you about it, and I'm going to let you listen to a short video from one of my neighbor's Ring cameras, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, this is what I've been doing this evening and yesterday and last weekend, and apparently it's going to be my job for a while. So let me go in the house. Okay, so I'm back in the house, and my hair is a mess because I've been outside working, and I don't really care all that much. I did get my eyebrows done Friday, so don't have like a trauma response or anything because they're darker than my hair right now. They were really dark when I left there Friday night. I've washed my face twice since then, so yeah. They are a little bit dark. Hey, Pumpkin, look at who's here. Hey. Pumpkin, you want to tell them about what happened? Okay, let me tell you what happened. This is not alleged hype, this is real. Y'all, my God, okay. You could probably guess who this is about before I even say. I have been dealing with this neighbor of mine since the summer of 2020. She moved in. It was her dad's house down the street from me. It was her dad's house. And he was living there. Now, he was an elderly man. He was really nice. I never had an issue with him. He was really nice. He kept the place up so nice. And oh my gosh. So his daughter clearly has some issues. Okay, now I understand that. Because that's the first thing a lot of people say. You need to have compassion because clearly she has issues. You know, I had compassion until she started like stalking my kids when they were walking to the school bus and screaming at them and threatening them. And all my compassion kind of went out the window at that point. I don't really know. Try living down the street from that for 5 years. You won't have any compassion anymore. You just want it to stop. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the summer of 2020, this lady, we'll call her Crazy Lady. That's not her real name, but that's how we refer to her here at the house. We call her Crazy Lady before we knew her name. Crazy Lady moved in down the street with her dad. Now, she's older than me. She is probably, I would say, in her early 60s. She's not a young woman. She moved in with her dad, who, as I said, was elderly. He was probably in his mid-80s. Real nice guy, though. Really nice man. Very quiet, kind of kept to himself. Whatever. Anyway, she moved in with him. Almost from the start, I mean, like, as soon as she moved in over there, she was coming down the street screaming at people. Just random. It is random shit that she will scream at people. And it wasn't just me. I mean, it was everybody. Like, she would just scream at anybody and everybody who was outside. All right. And I called the police over and over. Other neighbors, I think, called the police over and over. Every time I ever called, all they would ever say is, there's nothing we can do. I mean, you know, as long as it's before 10 p.m. at night, and as long as she's not threatening anyone directly or, you know, like coming onto your property or assaulting anyone, there's nothing we can do. You have no recourse. There is not anything you can do about it. She is within her rights to do this. And I'm just sitting here like, I am a big fan of freedom of speech. I'm all about it. I have no problem with that. But there has to be something, Pumpkin, there has to be something where surely an entire neighborhood cannot be subjected to screaming, and I do mean screaming, you're going to hear it in a minute, that sometimes can go on off and on all day. I am talking about hours of this shit. There is no way in hell that is just something we can't do anything about. Pumpkin, oh, it's so funny because I played a recording of her earlier in here, and Pumpkin immediately turned and looked toward the window because she knows where that noise usually comes from. So Crazy Lady is fond of walking down the street, standing on the very edge of my driveway, right on the edge. She's very smart about that. Not stepping foot on my property. She will come right up to the edge of my yard, right in front, like facing the front door, and just scream and scream and scream, calling out my name. And that's the thing that's kind of escalated at this point. Over the last few months, I'd say in the last 3 months or so, it has gotten worse. It has gotten notably worse because clearly she's done some sort of Google search on me or some kind of something, because she has memorized about me my full name, my date of birth, the full name of one of my ex-husbands. She talks about him a lot. She knows multiple places I've lived in the last 25 years. She was naming off my former addresses, family members, the full names of my children. Clearly she's done some kind of search and she's memorized all this shit about us. And it's probably just some sort of intimidation thing, like she's trying to scare me or something. So she's doing that. And so here's what happened Friday. So this is kind of where Friday was just kind of a last straw for me. All right. So I was at work, but I drove the Metro to work. So my other car was parked in front of the house. So the Metro was pulled into the driveway and I had my other car just parked on the street in front of the house. And I just left it there. Like, I drove the Metro to work. So my regular car was still parked at the house. And I'm speculating this. I mean, I don't know for sure. I think she looked out and saw my normal car still parked here, and she thought I was home. Because what I learned, and I learned this from 2 or 3 of my neighbors got in touch with me to tell me this, because my next door neighbor here works at home. And bless her heart, she works from home and she has to do like Zoom meetings and things. And her biggest fear is that the Crazy Lady's going to start screaming and they're going to hear it on the call. And she's going to have to explain what's going on outside of her house. Because she said that's happened before. She just has to pray that the woman does not do it, but it has happened. Anyway, apparently, for whatever reason, I don't know, Crazy Lady, off and on, all day, Friday. For hours. She's like a demented cuckoo clock. She'll go inside and be quiet for a half hour, then she'll come out and scream again. Then she'll go inside for a half hour, come out and scream again. Just standing in her driveway. There's nobody out there. She's not talking to anybody. She is just screaming indiscriminate gibberish. Most of it I cannot quite make out what she's saying. I don't know. But my neighbors were texting me and saying, you know, she's out here and she is screaming about you. She is screaming out your full name and like personal information about you, and she is just saying some crazy shit about you. And then one of her next door neighbors, I know him, he texted me and said, you need to see this. So he had a Ring camera video. It's like a little over 4 minutes long, and I'm going to let you listen to it. You can't see it. You can't really see anything in the video anyway, but it shows like, you can see like street information. So I'm not going to show you the video, but I'm going to let you listen to it. Now I'm going to warn you before I play this. It is disturbing. It is not, I mean, it is disturbing. Maybe it's just me, but it just kind of gets me, it gets my heart rate up listening to this bitch. Are you looking at the ghost? She looks at the ghost in here. She's what? There's nothing there. Quit freaking me out, pumpkin. So there's a ghost in here and she watches it sometimes. She does. Marty does it too. Marty also does that. He'll just look at shit in here. Anyway, I'm going to play the audio of this video for you to hear. Now, I'm not going to play the very end of it because at the very end, like right after where I cut it off, she screams out my full name. Like literally 2 seconds after I cut it off. You'll hear what she says at the very end, and it's the very end I want you to listen to. And I want to hear if you heard, I want to know if you heard what I hear at the end of this video. Because I played it back and listened to it a few times. And a lot of what she says leading up to that, I can't quite make out what she's saying. I'm not really sure. But at the very end, I'm asking you in the comments to tell me, what do you hear her say in the last 30 seconds of this video? What do you hear her say? And then keeping in mind that right after it cuts off, she screams my full name. Just listen to this. And again, it's a little disturbing. So if that's a problem, just fast forward through like the next 5 minutes or so. Just zip back to where I'm sitting here with Pumpkin and just don't. But listen to this and tell me what you hear. All right. So I'm going to tell you what I heard at the very end. I heard DIE. I'm not sure what she said leading up to that, but she spelled out that word. And she mentioned, if you go back and listen, she said, what did she say? Two red-headed bastards, or redheaded something. And then right after she says redheaded bastards or whatever it was, redheaded motherfuckers or whatever it was, that is when she screams out my name. She's talking about my two kids and clearly me, because she screams out my full name. She's, okay. This woman has threatened to kill me before, but I didn't get it on video. And that was like 2 or 3 years ago. And the police, and I did call the police, but the police said, well, there were no witnesses. You don't have any proof that she did it. There's nothing we can do. Sorry about that. Tough break. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to talk to an attorney this week, and I'm going to have them listen to that and just ask. I'm just going to ask an attorney. I'm not saying the police are full of shit. I just find it really hard to believe there's nothing we can do about this. This has been going on now for almost 5 years. The whole neighborhood has had to live with this for 5 years. And the shit you heard on that tape, that is a really good example of what we have to listen to when she goes off on one of her tirades and she gets like this. And now it's random. She may go for 3 weeks and not do that again. In fact, earlier today, I came home from getting groceries and I was outside getting them out of the car, and she came walking out of her house, saw me, looked at me plain as day, and just walked on. Didn't say a word. And a lot of times she does that. Other times I walk out to get the mail and she screams bloody murder at me. You never know when she's going to do it. You never know how long it's going to go on. She may come walking down the street and try to confront me. I don't ever know what she's going to do. But her next door neighbor was very disturbed by what she said in that video. He said, I am concerned for your safety, quite frankly, after hearing that. I'm concerned for you and your kids at this point. So just know, I have taken steps. I'm not going to say what they are. I've taken steps. I'm just going to say that. I am aware that she is a potential issue. I know that. And I'm not taking this lightly, and I have already looked into it a little bit and talked to some people. I was in the legal field for many years. I've talked to some people, given them the highlights, and I'm going to go talk to somebody this week to see what my options are. So I'm sorry I have not been in touch much lately. Yeah, so that's what I've been dealing with. She has been on some other tirades lately, screaming out all my information. Just started probably back in January or February. She started doing that. And she does seem to have a lot of personal information about me, but it's nothing you couldn't find in a Google search. I mean, it's not that impressive, but apparently she knows how to use the internet. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know about that. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. It could be that I try to do something, legally about it. And it could be that I try to do something and get nowhere with it. I could get nowhere with it. And my fear about that, my concern about that is, if I do end up doing something in court, she will get a summons. She'll get notice of whatever I do. And she will show up. And if she made a scene, that would be good for me. I don't know what she would do in court. And I don't know for sure that she'd show up. But if I don't get anywhere with it, if the police were right and there's nothing I can do, I'm afraid that this shit's going to get a whole lot worse than it is now. That is my concern, is that she will retaliate if I don't get anywhere with it. Which is one reason why I'm talking to an attorney. Like, what are my options if I can't do anything and then she does just go off the deep end? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like significant chunks of the story of my life are being written by somebody who really hates me. Does that make any sense? Why? Why, Pumpkin? What for? God almighty. She's been quiet this weekend since now Friday. Maybe she got it all out of her system. Hell, maybe she has no voice left. I don't know how the hell it hadn't destroyed her damn vocal cords by this point. She'll scream like that for a really impressively long time. And this is not a young woman. I mean, like, hot damn. I don't have the energy for that kind of shit. I can't imagine getting that mad at somebody. I don't speak to her. I don't interact with her. I am not provoking her. I am just down here trying to live my life down the street from her. That is all I'm doing. That is all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to live my life. I'm not bothering anybody. I don't have the time to bother anybody. If I want to bother somebody, if I had time to bother somebody, I'd come in the house and take a nap. I would not be wasting my time bothering anybody. So that is what I've been dealing with. Other stuff in my life is kind of on hold. The laptop is still fucked up. Asus, the company that made it, said that I bought it from an unauthorized seller. Therefore, the warranty was only good for 90 days, which has passed. So they're not willing to do anything. So I have taken it somewhere to see if I can get it fixed, and I'm just going to have to pay for it. I bought a laptop on Amazon. It's a whole story if you haven't heard that part. I bought a laptop on there back in November, and long story short, I have a $1,300 paperweight right now, and there's nobody wants to help me. Amazon didn't help. The seller didn't help. Asus didn't help. So I'm stuck with a computer that doesn't work at all. So I'm trying to get that fixed. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's wrong with it and get it fixed. And my son's truck still does not run. He got it home, but now there's some other issue with it and it's not running again. And I'm starting to really hate that truck. See, I had a Fiero when I was a teenager and it was constantly breaking down. And I told my son, I said, you realize that's your Fiero, right? That truck, that's your Fiero. He said, no, it's not. It's going to be fine. I said, yeah, I was in denial about my Fiero too. I would get really defensive if anybody called it a piece of junk. That's your Fiero out there. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I will let you know what I find out. But she's disturbed. I mean, this woman is disturbed, and I no longer have any compassion for her. I kept hoping she would sell the house and move away. Her dad passed away. I don't remember the year. I remember it was in November because there was a really scary incident. That was when she threatened to kill me that following month in December. It was right around Christmas time when that incident happened. She was out there beating on a busted up desk that she had thrown out on the street. She was out there beating on it with a hammer, and my son was too scared to walk past her. That's another thing. I don't want him having to walk past her house to go to the bus stop, to get on the bus. Fortunately, hopefully this fall, he'll be able to get his license and he can drive himself to school. But for now, I don't know. So I drove him to the bus stop and then I drove back home, and I was working from home at that point. And she came walking down the street and said some stuff like she literally threatened to, end me. But it was like 7:15 in the morning. There were no witnesses. I don't have a video of it because I was just walking from my car into the house. Like I was trying to ignore her because I don't have time for you today. I didn't say that to her, but I'm thinking I don't have time for you today. I'm just going to walk in the house. I'm not going to look at you. I'm not going to say anything. But then she said what she said, like, all right, I guess I am going to deal with you today then, if that's the way you want to be. And then I called the police and reported what she said. And they're like, well, we can't really prove it. And, it's your word against hers. And there were no witnesses. So, sorry. I just can't believe we have to live this way. I cannot believe this whole damn neighborhood has to live listening to this shit. I just don't see how. There is nothing that can be done. I'm just so tired. I am so tired. It has been almost 5 years. That's why I'm like, the shit on Friday was just the last thing. Because my next door neighbor said she came walking down here and screamed outside of my house for like a half hour. Just stood in front of my house, screaming at the house about my kids and me. And don't think I won't go back to my cameras and get video of that, because I absolutely will. I'm going to scroll back and I'm going to find that, and I'm going to capture that video, and I'm going to have that as well. I have set up a folder on my laptop of all these videos that I have gotten, the neighbors have gotten, the cameras. I'm getting copies of all this shit for whoever wants to see it that can help me out. So I do feel targeted. I absolutely feel targeted, because I am targeted. My kids are targeted. I don't feel like we're safe with her living up there. I don't know what she's going to do. So I'm not saying I don't want you to worry. Don't worry. I'm going to work this out. But that is what I have been dealing with right now. Just in the last 5 years, I've been dealing with this shit. I'm going to figure something out, and I will let you know. I will let you know when I find out, and I will let you know how it all works out. But that's what's going on. And I don't know if I just disturbed the demons in her head. I don't know what it is. Now, I'm not the only one she screams about. There are other people that she screams about, and I don't know who these people are. I imagine she goes to their house and screams at them and tells them about me, and she tells me about other, like, she'll scream just every now and then. She'll just mention random people. Anyway, I got 2 videos to edit. I did 2 shelf organization videos, and I got to get to work editing those, and it's already almost 8:30 at night, and I got to go to work in the morning. But I just wanted to let you know what was going on. I don't know. Damn. I just don't see how a person can just, whenever they want, just terrorize an entire neighborhood, go up and down the street screaming and yelling, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Really? Really? I mean, really? That's what every single cop I talk to when they come out, that's what they all say. Yeah. I mean, as long as she's not threatening anybody, you can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it. Nobody can. Sorry. She has the right to do that. I don't see how. But that's what I keep getting told, so. But I'm going to find out what I can do, if I can do anything at all. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is such a weird video, but that's what's been on my mind. That's what I've been thinking about. I woke up at about 3 o'clock this morning thinking about it, trying to, like, what am I going to do? What if I try to pursue something and it doesn't work out and then she gets worse? I mean, what if it just makes everything worse? Because then she's going to be like, oh, hell yeah, I can walk up and down the street screaming whenever I want. And then she just does it more. What if she gets like a bullhorn or something? I don't know. She's like a human bullhorn. Do you hear how loud she is? She is insanely loud. She should have been an opera singer or something. Her voice projects. Like, I have never heard another woman whose voice projects the way hers does. It is unreal. It bounces off every house up and down the street. It is crazy. So, I know I'm rambling at this point. But anyway, I'll let you know when I find out. I just wanted to give you a little update. We're all fine. We're going to be fine. It's good. I'm aware of the potential issues, and I will deal with them if they arise. But thank you so much for watching and for being here, and I will keep you up to date. And I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you again soon.